Hey everyone, Kyle once again, and welcome back to my part 2 of my review rant on the sequel, Piranha 3DD, or Double D, whatever, yeah, because that's the joke. I get it, though. So, yeah, I get the thing, yeah, but I don't think it's not funny in the least bit. So, leaving off where I left off, what I've explained so far is more of the jokes in this film that I did not think was funny. That was the big reason that this film sucks. But there was only a few good things here. The first, the lead, Danielle Panabaker, she was fine at best. Um, and then other things, like I liked Christopher Lloyd and I liked Gary Busey, which I thought he could be used more in this film though, but they don't though. And then the fourth reason is that the piranhas were more practical animatronics more than the first film. And I explained that. That's only like four things though. So, but it still doesn't save the movie for me though, because the film does way more on the comedy aspect. All the jokes I think was not funny. It'd be more of a comedy than a horror, than straight up killer fish horror. Like in the original film, that has like almost no comedy in it whatsoever though. It was just like straight up killer fish horror film. But anyway, but getting back to what I was saying, that Maddie, Danielle Panabaker, she wants to close down the park, but Chet, David Koechner, is being such a jerk about it. He's like, oh, you're not doing that, because I'm half the owner, basically telling her to screw off, and this is my park, basically, and even the deputy. Even that deputy, Kyle, which real is my name, he's taking bribes from him, and allowing this continue. And when the big day finally comes, well, before that, I gotta get to this part. Okay, the one of Maddie's friends, the one that the girl from Tucker vs. Evil. So we're the boyfriend, and she's like, oh, was almost stressed out and everything about, well, with her friend, It's like, oh, make love to me, and which they do. And when the funny thing is, though, you see the little baby piranha that's swam up her, and what is funny with that, throughout the whole time before this, like, I think it was, it's, the other thing was inside her the whole time, swimming around didn't make her feel like all fuzzy or anything, like all nauseous or anything, But no, it doesn't wait till it doesn't occur to this until this moment, like it's from that time, from the night, and then up until the next night, didn't feel anything, no like nauseous in the stomach or anything, I don't know what happened there, but anyway, as they're doing that, somebody's like, oh, something's wrong, and she like has like sort of like a seizure or something like that, and of course, that's another one of the jokes, and then it comes out and bites the boyfriends in the what area, and you're clearly seeing it hanging there, it's oh jeez. And then of course, like instead of trying to pull the fish off of him, of course he has to cut it off with a knife, And then what's funny is that the girl, she recovers back, and all of a sudden she's feeling fine. She just doesn't remember what happened. She's like, oh, I'm feeling better. Like she just as if she just forgotten like 30 seconds ago about what happened. But it's like she all of a sudden goes, oh, I'm fine, And it's like doesn't even know what the blood is. The blood is there, until she finally sees it. And it's like completely oblivious to it, And then the boyfriend's like, what'd you do to me, And that's the last you ever see of them, Okay. Yeah. And then comes from the big day, the big opening, and David Hasselhoff is in this playing as himself, once again, Of course, he's played as himself in a couple of things, including in the SpongeBob movie, He's like, as playing as imposing himself as a lifeguard, which Bush, of course, from Baywatch and anything. Even you do hear the Baywatch theme, which I'll get to. And then also you have two other recurring cast members from the first film. Ving Rhames as Deputy Fallen, which you assume he was dead, but he's not. And Paul Scheer as what's his name? Andrew, who was the assistant cameraman with Jerry O'Connell in the first film, which you saw him fall in the water, but you don't see him die though. So he's in this. He's tending with Ving Rhames, pushing him in the wheelchair, which he said to find out that the piranha has only ate his legs now. Ving Rhames has no legs, and he's acting like he's all scared of water now. So he goes from a badass with the boat motor, slicing all these piranhas up. Now he's acting like a wuss, and now he's all scared of water. It's like, it's like, I'm not afraid of water. Well, I'm not afraid of water, Or it's like, I'm terrified of the water, So yeah, whatever. So, and now when the big thing is now, the piranhas they swim through the pipes and they're in the water, and they start attacking the people. And David Matty, punches David Koechner a few times, who warned him about this, didn't believe her whatsoever, and gives a good punches, and a kick into the groin. I was like, do you see them now? So also this other guy who works there was who this guy named Barry who likes her, this guy Matt Bush, and tells her to shut off all the valves or anything to the pools, I think, whatever, And of course, there's another, as all this is going on, of course, there's another thing, there's this guy who, I don't know what I would say, like, this guy, he, like, if you've seen the film, you know what I'm talking about, like, this guy who's, like, this heavyset guy, he's basically, like, what was he doing? He has this, he's, like, basically, like, humping the where the water comes out, and he's, like, ugh, where even in the films, like, the guy Barry's, like, what are you doing, and it's, like the hole where the water comes out of, and yeah, he's humping the thing where I've seen a guy humping a thing where the water comes out, And while it was going on, a fish is hanging out of his ass, and even he asked the guy to pull it out, Oh boy, this is some of the things I think was not that funny, not funny in the least bit. So, and then David Koechner, he tries to get away and takes his card, and you see he's getting away. He's getting decapitated. Like, you see this thin wire covered by this line of confetti or whatever, You see his head cut off, and you see because he got to look at where he's going. He got distracted all the women with big, with big boobs, That's another thing. Like I said, even the tagline says here, double the action, double the terror, and double the D's right there. So you can get to see more of this, That's the thing they're trying to do. They're trying to be more comedy than horror, Yeah, there's some decent gore scenes, but when we're trying to do with all focus more on this, I'm just losing interest, I keep on losing interest as more of this unfunny jokes keeps on going, But and then Ving Rhames asks Andrew, to bring him his legs, and there's your rip off of Planetarium. He has a shotgun leg, instead of a machine gun, it's a shotgun leg, And he was like, I hate the water. And Andrew goes, I hate the fish, And then the other funny joke, David Hasselhoff sees that kid where he was talking to earlier, and keeps on looking back, He's looking back, you're a lifeguard, And then he's like all running in slow motion with the Baywatch theme, I was like, oh, I'm getting old, And that's all he does. All he does is save the kid, and that's it. Doesn't do anything else. And then Danielle Panabaker knows she dives in the water while Barry, Matt Bush, with the the other guy, you know, they shut off all the drainage stuff, but she's getting sucked into the grid, you know, while like I said there well, a much more a bigger piranha is in there, you know, but it's not as big. It's much more smaller than the giant one at the ending of the first film, you know. Granted, it's much bigger and practical, you know, but okay. And it attacks one piranha, you know, and it's going to attack her. Then Barry takes that this trident, which really was the stuff that you pick up garbage with, you know. Which how does he know there's one thing in there, you know? How does he know that thing is in there or where to throw it at, you know? But he does throw it in, bang, straight up and kills it through the head. And he can't swim, so he grabs this big brick to weigh himself down so he can goes in there and saves her, you know. And then that guy, the the guy who was humping that thing, you know, pours in like gasoline or something like that, and throws in a lit joint, and all the stuff in the drainage pipes, and throws that joint in, and everywhere where the pipes are exploding, you know, and including the deputy guy was acting such a wimp, you know, like, oh, be a man, you're a cop, you know, save people, you know. Who really was a coward, like just goes to save himself, you know. But he's in there with him, and then all of a sudden that trident, all of a sudden just goes and hits him right through the eye. Okay, and I'm looking up, I'm just laughing, laughing not in a good way, but I was like, yeah, I'm looking at it like, yeah, that would really what happen. Just need for another pointless death, you know. So, and then, well, of course, you get dead piranhas flying everywhere, you know, practical piranhas, okay. And then it ends with that song, which that's another thing. I like that song from, by, what was the name? The name, Amber, or whatever, you know. It was a good, oh, it's a good day. Okay, that's another thing. All I did was like that song, which was playing in the beginning of the trailer, you know. But then Christopher Lloyd calls Danielle Panabaker, saying that I was right, you know. They're evolving. They're learning to walk. And they see a piranha just slowly walking, you know. And I was like, okay, you get to walk though. And I'm thinking in my mind, it's like, really walking, you know. But why didn't I go the extra? In my mind, why did I not go the extra step and try to do like, and the sequel to the original film, The Spawning, try to make them fly, you know. But I was like, really walking? I thought they were trying to I thought they were gonna fly, you know. But if you want to try to make them walk, why not just go the extra step and try to steal from the original sequel, trying to see them flying everywhere, you know. But then that dumb kid that David Hasselhoff said, you know, he's there recording, you know, and then all of a sudden the piranha just jumps up and takes his head off. And then David Hasselhoff goes little ginger moron. And then also during after the credits, it shows David Hasselhoff running slowly for this fake TV show called Fish Hunter, which is pointless and not funny. So yeah. Bottom line, overall, this is only a handful of things. That song, practical piranhas, Danielle Panabaker was fine at best, and Christopher Lloyd and Gary Busey, you know, that's only a handful of things. That does not save the movie though. I was too getting disappointed with all the jokes and stuff that were not funny, you know, and all this, you know, with the, you know, with the mostly focused on mostly on the nudie and the double D's, you know, and the jokes, you know, like I said, were not that funny, you know. As a 13% on Rotten Tomatoes, it deserves it. As a 3.8 on IMDb, it deserves it. It was nominated for 2 Golden Razzies for Worst Supporting Actor David Hasselhoff and Worst Remake, Ripoff, or Sequel. It didn't win any of them. Lost to the Twilight Breaking Dawn Part 2. It deserves all the negative there. It deserves it. So yeah, and it even got a limited release. And I'm going to stop right here. I'm making it to a very short Part 3, which I previously, well, stay tuned, I'll explain why for Part 3.